Hi guys, here we are again. So this is Talkabout Thursday and we're on day 2, 4, 5 of 365 days of action. So just going to get a brew started and start off where we left off from last week. Get that on the go first of all. So last week we were on our way to Southampton, myself and Juliet, to go and see the consultants for the first time and meet the guys down there. Interesting people, really nice and very friendly. It's quite daunting actually going into the hospital. It becomes even big hospital, so we're going in there and we're heading for C3 clinic, so got the directions quite easily and found and went in there. And when I walked in the door, you have to take a ticket. First of all, have your bloods done. So that's the first thing we had done. It's like a supermarket ticket. Just take it off the rack, pull a number out, and then wait your turn to have your bloods done. And it's like a conveyor belt what they're doing in it. And as you notice, that's the first time of us going there, quite nervous, and you're looking around and seeing these, oh my God, there's some seriously sick people in here, and looking, and there's also some healthy people, and you're looking around, and there's obviously people looking at you, and you're just thinking to yourself, wonder which one of the couple, male or female, wonder which one it is that's been ill. You don't really know until they go and have their bloods done, and then it indicates to you who's who. So we waited our turn and eventually got to see the consultants, one of the consultants. And then he says, right, got the results, Joe, of your CT scan. Shows a shadow that we can see. Can't see quite what it is, but there is something in the lower bowel. And there's also a little shadow on the liver. So I wasn't quite sure what it meant. He says, we've seen these things before, got quite a good idea of what's going on, but obviously can't say anything until you've had another endoscopy and a biopsy. And so we're going to get you in for that first of all before we decide what's going on. So off we went. Had that to think about. Obviously had a few more things of where we're going to go, what's going to happen. We need to have something operated on, details, and again more information about how to deal with cancer. And lots of people, they're fantastic people, really amazing, friendly, lots of things. And any questions that you had, I was terrified, to be honest. Really was terrified. Juliet was calm as a cucumber, as normal, and just looking around. And I don't take information in, I really don't. If it wasn't for Juliet, I wouldn't know half the things that had happened to me. Once I think just information, so hello, and that's it, and I just kind of switch off. And I think a lot of people do. So if you have got to go to appointments like that, I would definitely take someone with you so they can actually listen to what's going on. Anyway, went for that appointment and then off we went. So I was due from that point to have another scan and another endoscopy and a PET scan this time. So PET scan and CT scan, which covers all the body, big like polar mint that you're going in. And then I have to have some glucose, so radioactive glucose injected into you. So that's the first thing that happened. So I went and had that done, and I wouldn't find the results back to a week going back towards to see the consultant. This is now coming towards the end of May, about a week before the end of May. So I went in, I think it was a Monday that we went in to go and see them, and then we go in to see, and he says, right, now more information for you, Joe. Bloods are all good, have my bloods done again, and then we've got to just see what's going on with this scan. So in my opinion, so then after, I'd obviously have to have some more of the biopsies. I hadn't had them done yet. And then the scan was saying, it says it's a tumour in the bowel. That's what the shadow was. So we can see it clearly now. And he showed me a picture of what it was. And so it's, in my opinion, it's called a GIST, which is a gastric intestinal stoma tumour in the bowel. He explained a little bit more what that was, and how we deal with that is with chemo tablets, imatinib, and taking the imatinib, which makes a big difference. So taking those, he gave me these tablets. Don't take them yet until we've definitely had the okay of what's going on. So the results were coming back. I was due the next day to go for the endoscopy, had the endoscopy done, and then he was waiting for the results. So as soon as those had come back, which is a couple of days, it was really flowing quite quickly now. What was going on, quite frightening that everything was moving so quickly, but I was really pleased it was going on. And then so got back in to see him again. Right, this is the results, this is what we know most definitely. I will ring you whether you can take these tablets or not. So okay, So I was waiting for the phone call. He said, I'm going to phone you on the 28th of May. And I said, he says, what's the problem? I said, well, it's actually my youngest son's, Jordan's, 18th birthday. So I'd rather you wouldn't phone on then. I don't want bad news or whatever news on then. I don't want to ruin his 18th, which is fair enough. And he said, so a couple of days later he phoned, and he did phone. And he said, right guys, this is it. Joe, you're on it. Straight on to those tablets and imatinib. Start taking them today. One a day, and that's what I have to take, and I still take those today as it happens on those, and I'm still taking them every single day with a load of other tablets, but we'll go into that a little bit later on. So that was it. I got results and that was it. So my next journey back then was going back to see the consultant of seeing when and if I needed to have an operation. We're going to stop it there because I've got a little bit of story about when the doctor had obviously given us the prescription to get them back, and we've tried to go and get the prescription, or I say Juliet was going to get the prescription for the imatinib, which is obviously a chemo tablet, and they're very expensive. We didn't know this at the time, so we tried to go to the local chemists, and they refused straight away. It says no, it's too expensive for us to deal with, and we didn't know what to do. Went to another chemist, and they said exactly the same thing. Eventually phoned the hospital, and Juliet asked some advice, and so that was quite frightening, and thinking, oh my god, I don't know where to get tablets. Then eventually the hospital supplied some imatinib for us at the moment, and then they suggested somewhere else to go, and in the end we had to go to Andover to get some tablets with a lady in there, and sorted everything out in the Boots chemist. From then on we were dealt with. But just on those circumstances alone, thinking about that, where we had to go, am I going to get the drugs? It's a cancer drug, you wouldn't think they'd turn you away. But apparently they're so expensive, these drugs, that it quite frightened, and a lot of people let people down, the chemist itself, and not getting the drugs. So that's a thing to think about there, isn't it? Straight away going to get to the chemist, what's going on. That was enough to frighten you. All these things aren't there to stop you from getting this stuff. It's just to make you think. My kettle's boiling, and I can see that the tea's ready to go there in a minute. It's going to get me, turn the gas off while we got it going. We're going to come to an end and wrap it up. Just grab the tea bag, pop it in the brew. A lot of information taken on board there, from going to the hospital, having the results, thinking what was going on, and I was just running with it and taking. I didn't really have time to take on board. So if you've got anything to go to, definitely take somebody with you, a family friend, a member of family, just so you can take this all in, because the things that you hear, you don't hear, if that makes sense, or you don't hear the whole story. It's so important to get the information right, especially because when I went on my own once, I did tell Juliet something that I had, and I clearly didn't have it. I actually said I had cancer in the lungs, and it was the liver. So repeating that story didn't go down too well. That's just a simple example, guys. I hope this is helping people to go forward with anything that they need to go through. I'm not saying it was all happy going through. There was lots of ups and downs for me going in this little journey, but more so what I didn't think about was the ups and downs for your family members. It's not all about that person that's got the illness or the diagnosis. People tend to think about them, but it really puts a massive strain on the family. So you need supportive people around you, definitely. Okay, guys, we're going to stop it there. We're going to leave you with it. Have a great day, everyone. Any information you need on 365 Days of Action is on oldboystraining.com. Please give me a call, or definitely contact me by text, email, or anything, and hopefully I can help you out with anything you need to know about what we've been talking about. All the information is also on oldboystraining.com. It's on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, but you can follow them on. They've been putting a story all the way through from 1, 2, and obviously it's now number 3, which is going onto YouTube. Have a look, guys. See what you think. Let me know. Have a great day. Keep pushing, and don't ever give up.